As we continue our Buffalo Bills Hall of Fame coverage, we take a look at a Bills Hall of Famer who can say something that no other player in the Pro Football Hall of Fame can say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this Buffalo Bills Hall of Fame edition of Believers Talk, where we take a tour back in time and look at every single one of the Buffalo Bills Hall of Famers. Again, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. If you are new to this channel, guys, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo Bills news as we continue to suffer through a long NFL offseason. It's a perfect time to reminisce and remember some of the greatest things about Buffalo Bills football. If you're an old fan and you just want to remember some of the great days, or if you're a new fan and you want to know what it's all about being a Buffalo Bills fan, being a part of Bills Mafia, you came to the right place. Again, guys, after you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and while you're here, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Hall of Famer Billy Shaw, whether you remember him playing, as some of my fans, some of my subscribers might, or you take a look back and remember him with me as we take a look at Billy Shaw's illustrious Buffalo Bills and AFL career. Now, guys, I do want to let you know that this is a two-part series. I had the luxury of speaking with Buffalo Bills Hall of Famer Billy Shaw, and I wanted to make sure that I captured the whole interview. So after this episode, right after I post this episode, expect to see that interview on another post. It was a great interview. Hope we get to do it again. He's a great guy, and again, he was just really happy to be on the show, and I was so happy to have him on here. So again, thank you, Billy Shaw, for that, and I hope that you guys learned something from that interview. Again, it was a great interview. I'll make sure to link it right here on this video so you can go straight there after this one, but we had a really good time. So let's talk about Billy Shaw. Let's talk about some of his accomplishments in the AFL. Let's talk about that one thing that he could say that no one else in the Pro Football Hall of Fame can say about their NFL or their pro career. So Billy Shaw was listed at 6 foot 2 inches tall, 258 pounds. For the Buffalo Bills, he played left guard, and I have to specify for the Buffalo Bills because in college he went to Georgia Tech, and while in college, like a lot of players did back in the early 60s and late 60s, he played both sides of the ball. He played both offense and defense. On offense, he played the offensive line, spent most of his time at guard. On defense, he played linebacker. So the Buffalo Bills drafted him in 1961, and the Buffalo Bills definitely wanted to use him for the offensive line. Now, there was another team that drafted Billy Shaw in 1961, and that's, again, something we talk about in the interview, because if you're a young fan, you might not know this. At one time, there was no AFC and NFC in the NFL. There was an AFL as one league, the American Football League, and the NFL, the National Football League. They did not merge until Super Bowl 3 or 4, I believe it is, where they actually decided to merge. In fact, Super Bowl 1 was not originally called Super Bowl 1. It was called like the AFL NFL Championship or something along those lines. And for those who don't know this, this is a fun fact. The Buffalo Bills were this close to playing in the first ever Super Bowl. You can definitely hear more about that in the interview with Billy Shaw. But let's talk more about Billy Shaw. Again, 1961, drafted in the AFL by our Buffalo Bills, and then also drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. Some of the reasons why he chose the Buffalo Bills over the Dallas Cowboys are talked about in the interview after this video, so make sure you check that out. Played with the Buffalo Bills for 9 seasons from 1961 to 1969, and he played great, obviously making the All-Star game, the AFL All-Star game, 8 of those 9 seasons with the Buffalo Bills. He was a first-team All-AFL selection 5 times between 1962 and 1966. And then on top of the 5 first-team All-Star selections, he was then a second-team All-AFL selection 3 times. So of his 9-year career with the Buffalo Bills, he was either a first-team or second-team AFL selection 8 of those 9 years. Went to the All-Star game 8 of those 9 years as well. So congratulations to Billy Shaw, but the accolades do not stop there. He was named to the All-AFL team. Once the AFL merged with the NFL, they had this idea a few decades later to say, hey, if we had one team of all the best AFL players, who would be on that team? Billy Shaw was on that team. So congratulations for making that team as well. And as far as what I said in the intro, there's one thing that Billy Shaw can say that no other Hall of Famer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame can say. Billy Shaw, at the time of his induction and still today, is the only player in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, to have only played his football career in the AFL. Again, played with the Buffalo Bills from 1961 to 1969. The NFL merger did not officially happen. The NFL-AFL merger did not officially happen until 1972. So that means that Billy Shaw played his whole NFL career with the whole career in the AFL. In fact, he spent his last season with the Buffalo Bills with rookie running back we talked about last week, O.J. Simpson. So two Hall of Famers, two Buffalo Bills Hall of Famers, spending a little bit of time together on the field. We do talk about his run-ins with O.J. Simpson a little bit again in that interview, so make sure you check that out. In 9 seasons with the Buffalo Bills, Billy Shaw played in 119 games, including the 1964 and 1965 seasons, where the Buffalo Bills went on to win the AFL Championship games. And then something we talk about again in the interview, in 1966, they play in the AFL Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs. They end up losing to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs go on to play the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl I. So that's how close the Bills got to playing in Super Bowl I, guys. There was a lot of glory back in the mid-60s for our Buffalo Bills. Would love to see us rise to glory again here. Josh Allen and the future of this Buffalo Bills team obviously looking bright, but as we look at the past, we know that this Buffalo Bills team has won championships in the past. That's something we look forward to doing again. Now, Billy Shaw was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1991, and there's a lot of fun little information about his induction ceremony. We talk about who he was inducted with, and we talk about some of the things that were said and not said during his NFL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Eric Dickerson might have helped him out a little bit. You'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in that interview. So make sure you check that out. But I want to spend some time talking about how great Billy Shaw was. And he really was. He was a great left guard for the Buffalo Bills. He led some of the best running backs the Buffalo Bills have seen, including Cookie Gilchrist. Again, his last season in the league with O.J. Simpson was the part of the line that started the Electric Company. He was kind of on the way out when the Electric Company obviously started, but he was there to kind of pave the way for some of the guys who ended up being on the Electric Company for O.J. Simpson. So he saw some pretty good running backs in his day, and he was a part of some really special teams for the Buffalo Bills. Talking about Jack Kemp, talking about Cookie Gilchrist, talking about a few really good teams there. Again, two winning the AFL Championship in 1964 and 1965. Again, after I'm done posting this here, check out that interview. It was a really fun time to have Billy Shaw on the channel. Always good to talk to a Buffalo Bills Hall of Famer. I hope that he enjoyed it as well. I hope we get to do it again soon. So again, guys, leave a comment in this video. Let me know what you think about Billy Shaw, what he means to you as a Buffalo Bills fan, and maybe some of the things you learned that you did not know about Billy Shaw before you watched this video. Again, guys, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like this video and leave a comment. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Go check out that interview. I'll talk to you all later. Until I do, go Bills.